How's it going, everybody? It's Carlos, and I'm one of your hosts of the Just Fans podcast, and I'm joined, like I am every week, with the one and only Rios. How's it going, Rios?
Football is a stupid sport. Who cares about it?
Yeah. All right, so that's how Rios is feeling today. All right, so today's episode, before we start our intro, we're going to be looking at, of course, the story that's been going on since yesterday's game against the Patriots. The sophomore slump, the CJ Stroud narrative has, chasing his rookie success, as Troy Aikman put it, for 2 years now. Is this the permanent regression for CJ Stroud, or is it a brutal stretch? So as far as we're also going to be talking about D'Amico's defense. The Texans did hold Drake May in check for a good chunk of the game. And then, of course, the Texans are now 0-7 in all-time divisional round. And for the first time in years, the quarterback position is the question mark rather than a certainty. All right, guys, Texans fans, what do you guys think? Is it time to bring in a veteran competitor, or do you still believe in CJ Stroud? Let us know in the comments. Let us know after the intro. Hit it.
Ride through Houston, Texas, flexing, rolling through the SWAT. Repping for the city, hear 'em in the parking lot. Houston written across the jersey, ain't gon' never stop. Just fans got me tuning in, waiting for the drop. Astros, Texas, Rockets, Dynamo, they coming with it. When they pull up, got the city sitting on a fitted. Straight up A-Leaf, hold it down, ain't gon' never quit it. Just fans got me tuning in, let my dogs get it. Southwest A-League, Texas, throw down here and it's so infectious. We ride for the Houston Astros, Rockets, Dynamo, and them Texans.
All right, guys, as we were mentioned right before the intro, we're definitely going to be discussing the events that transpired yesterday, as I called it on the title of the episode. CJ Stroud's disaster in Foxborough. Is the era already over? Before we start talking about that real quick, I do want to just do my due diligence and talk a little bit about the offensive line. Okay. I felt like the offensive line, believe me, we don't want to give it away just just yet with the CJ story. Give it a second. So with the offensive line, let's talk about the offense. The
It was
offensive line, I think, I mean, for the most part, it's like I felt like the interior line was the biggest issue. I think Ariante Ursary, being as the rookie left tackle. Yes, there's going to be rookie mistakes, of course, it's expected, but at the end of the day, it seems like he's it just takes time for him to get used to it, and unfortunately, I feel like he did get thrown to a wolves, but you learn through experience, right?
yeah.
I think, and let me know what you think on this one. My take on this one, I don't think the Texans during the offseason were as aggressive as they needed to be with the line. Yes, the line was an improvement over last season, but then again, you're setting the bar pretty low from the
It was
season prior.
very
But there was progress. That was something that the Texans did address over on the offseason, but now um into this offseason, it's something that they definitely need to address to protect the quarterback. That interior line is just is an issue. And you saw it a lot against the Patriots front. Like they were manhandling Stroud, and he just couldn't get it. And so again, we're still not talking about the Stroud issues. We're talking about just the
yeah.
offensive line right now. We'll get there, but it's that interior line needs to be fixed. I think this is where the Texans need to really hit the free agency hard. It depends on who's out there. They need to hit the free agency hard and be aggressive in the free agency to get CJ Stroud some help in the offensive line. But as far as the other pieces, I mean, I got to compliment Ed Ingram has been terrific this season.
Big
Ariante Ursary has stood out. I know that against the Patriots they were missing Trent Brown, and you can obviously tell he was a pivotal part that was missed during the game. So, Rios, what are your thoughts on the offensive line?
I mean, I think since Nick Casario took over as the general manager, kind of been bargain bin shopping when it comes to the
Right.
offensive line. It's at times been offensive to watch. This year, they actually, I know the narrative going into the season, this is a terrible line because there's no big names, the traded Tunsil, but if you look at the stats, they were like middle of the pack. Like they were fairly
Yeah.
decent. DJ didn't get, he was one of the least sacked quarterbacks throughout the season. I mean, mind you, he missed like 3 games, but still, like per game averages, number of sacks that number of times he got hit, number of times he got sacked, all those numbers are down until the playoffs, and then it just fucking collapsed. The injuries, especially on the line, definitely caught up. Not having Trent Brown out there and they need to figure out what they're going to do with Titus Howard. He's a tackle. Stop putting him guard. Like, you need to figure out that interior guard position and put him at his natural position, because all this shuffling around, it just doesn't work. And it came to fruition on Sunday where, you got guys that, are playing positions they don't normally play, and Patriots just took advantage of it.
They did. They took advantage of that. One of the stories of the night is Woody Marks was stuffed about 8 times in the red zone.
Yeah.
Like that.
Less than 2 yards a carry. That's just pathetic.
Exactly. The interior line, of course, which includes Jake Andrews, struggled to just create movement or pick up backers, allowing the Patriots defense just to read and react without fear of the run. It's clear moving forward that they definitely need some bigger talent, tougher, more physical dudes in that interior line in order for them to be able to get protection, and of course, to keep, to make the run successful.
Yeah, I think someone on Twitter put, this upcoming 2026 season, it's going to have to get it real expensive in Houston, because basically this is the last year of, CJ's rookie deal. You have to start paying a lot of guys. Will Anderson's going to get paid this off. They're going to, give that man a blank check. Whatever, just fill in the numbers, bro. Whatever you want,
take it.
It's yours.
You want a share of the team? Go for it.
Right? You want to be part owner? You got your fam. No, but like, they're gonna have to really spend not just on the line, but other positions as well, because you're gonna have to see, like, before you invest long term in the QB. Not trying to divert too early from it, but 26 is the year where, like, you figure out, like, is this the guy? Do you basically hand him the keys to the franchise, or we got to reset in 2027? And I think things that will definitely help to see if he's a guy is investing in the trenches, starting with the line, and not just that, but also the running back position, because you cannot go into a playoff game without a running game. It's just, you can't win that way. Doesn't matter what era it is. If you can't run the ball, you are not winning playoff games.
Yeah, 100%, especially if you're stuck in the running game. Don't get me wrong, Woody Marks, as we've said before in previous episodes, has been outstanding. He's done more than enough to fill that role. I mean, even the Pittsburgh game in the wild card, I mean, he went over 100 yards.
Right.
And so, but the Patriots, being the Patriots, Mike Vrabel, he studies it. He does. He knows. He knew exactly what to take away to make CJ Stroud feel uncomfortable. So.
Oh, just like the Cowboys gave Dak the keys. Yeah, that's worked out perfectly, huh?
What happened?
Look at the comment.
Hand him the keys, please.
Yeah. Well, you're not going to do what the Cowboys did with Dak. 3 playoff wins in 10 years. Yeah, I just stay quiet, buddy.
So, as far as that goes, so the offensive line, Texans definitely need to get some more physicality again. They need to be more aggressive on the offensive end of the ball, offensive line, and update that. I agree with you 100% on the fact about Titus Howard, that shifting has been an issue. I think it's just a lack of consistency. I mean, they're used to it, yes, but it's just so much moving around. I think it just kind of takes away from that position.
Oh, absolutely. Like, it basically on the offensive line, if you play tackle your entire collegiate career, you get drafted as tackle, and then you have to learn how to play right guard. The 2 different techniques, 2 different skill sets. Like, no, you can't be a jack of all trades on the offensive line. If you're a swing tackle, yeah, sure, but you're not a starter. You're a swing tackle. Titus Howard is a starter. Like, put him in one position and leave him there, preferably at right tackle, and have Trent Brown as, a solid, backup reserve, or even a swing tackle.
So I want to shift over to the Houston Texans defense, who outstanding, generational talent, style defense, elite. They've been called many things. This is the defense that kept the Texans in the game as long as they could, until they just couldn't. The Houston Texans, I want to give a little bit of stats of Will Anderson's year 3 stats. Okay. 54 tackles, 20 tackles for a loss, 12 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, 3 pass deflections, and 2 fumble recoveries. First team All-Pro and a Pro Bowl selection. Amazing stats for Will Anderson. This is a guy that is definitely, as you mentioned earlier, this is somebody that definitely the Houston Texans need to sign in the offseason. Give him give him the bag. This is a guy that needs to have the bag to secure him because the last time the Texans had something like this was JJ Watt. Maybe not to this, obviously to his level, but this is
Pretty
a guy
damn.
that's relentless. He's a game changer, and of course having Danielle Hunter on the other side is also it helps. So this to me primarily is getting Will Anderson Jr. signed during the offseason. That's what I would do if I'm the Houston Texans during the offseason. Get this man get this man paid. Give him the bag because he is a game wrecker. He is a game changer.
Yeah, thankfully his agent's not David Mulgeta because, man, it's going to be an interesting conversation with that guy. But no, I think he's even said it like he wants to play his entire career here. So I think this should be a pretty easy process as far as getting him. So it's not going to be one of those things that drags on too long. And that should be the first domino that falls as far as free agency. But that also, I mean, not free agency, but like the salary cap. They have a lot of guys that are going to be free agents. And honestly, they're going to have to, make some tough decisions and cut a lot of guys because from what I've read, they're negative 10 million in cap space right now. So they're going to have to, they're going to have to, bust out the books to see where can we save money.
So I want to go over. You mentioned the free agents. These according to Spot Track. The following names are the Texans 2026 free agents. You got wide receiver Christian Kirk, safety Jimmy Ward, Danico Autry, Sheldon Rankins, Darrell Taylor, Derek Barnett, EJ Speed, Tim Settle, Tommy Townsend, the punter, Foley Fatusaki, MJ Stewart, Nick Chubb, Naquan Jones, Kurt Heinisch, Daria Wunduwale, Braxton Berrios, Ed Ingram, Trenton Brown, Christian Harris, Kayvon Wallace, Jamarcus Ingram, and Damon Clark. The names right there. And yes, according to Over the Cap, the Texans are in negative 10.8 million in cap space. Of course, they're going to have to do some cuts in order to or even restructure deals in order to be able to sign as many as those. So, okay, I want to go one by one real quick, Rios. What do you think? Okay, so the following names: keep, let go. All right.
Yeah.
Christian Kirk.
Unfortunately, he's going to be gone because I think he's going to be proved to be a little too expensive, which is fine because you get Tank Dale coming back this year. And you have Jalen Noel that could play in the slot as well. Younger under his rookie contract. So I would like to keep him, but I think he's going to be a little too expensive for them to keep.
I think so too. I don't think I see Christian Kirk back this season again, like you mentioned. Tank Dell returning, and of course you got Jalen Noel as well that can play the slot. So it's going to be hard for me to see Christian Kirk back on here. Here's a name that I think we both can agree. Also, that's probably not going to be back. Jimmy Ward.
Yeah, that's a safe bet.
Yeah. Okay. This one here, I think I'd like to have this guy back. He has proven to be fantastic. Danico Autry.
Absolutely.
That the thing is, if he's going to be one of those guys that that other teams are going to be looking at and they're going to offer him. So obviously you're going to take the bag as much as you can. Trade for Malik Willis or Jacoby Brissett to salvage the next year or so to continue to develop Mertz. Okay.
But I mean, it's
interesting take.
I've never heard that one, but hey, I'm all for it, man.
All right, we got Oh, sorry, I hadn't seen the comments up here. Okay, we got Brandon. What's up, buddy? Nick Casares spent day one making the most important move, resigning Jared Wayne.
Oh, I know the future reserve contract. Yeah, it's just
okay. And then Javelin 4661 wrote trade for Joey B.
I've seen that a lot on Twitter today, and I mean, I don't know if it's feasible, but I mean, I wouldn't be opposed.
I mean, all right. So Danico Autry definitely keep, but that's going to be tough. I think I think there's other teams looking for him, and it's what's up, Albert? It might be tough to keep him, but man, he's been phenomenal.
I think most defensive tackles you got to resign. Those guys,
you got to keep your front as much as possible to keep this level of defense. That's the crazy thing is the re-signings. Sheldon Rankins is another one.
Definitely.
I think that's another person you got to keep. That interior line. You have to keep your front seven. You have to keep them. Sheldon Rankins. Do you think he'll be back though?
Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of these guys, especially the defensive tackles, they're not huge names. They're not going to command huge salaries in free agency. I think you could bring them back on reasonable contracts to keep, the defense continuity going into next year. I think most of the question marks about who they bring back is going to be on the offensive side of the ball, because that's where you're going to have to spend a little bit more, because that really the defense should have played both sides of the ball this game, because God, it was terrible.
All right, so next person I'm looking at, sorry, Poppy just hit us up with a voice message. I was trying to listen to it, but I don't know, he sounds incoherent. No, he says he couldn't make it because he's got problems at work. I don't know, whatever. I wasn't paying attention to him.
Anyway,
Daryl Taylor
gone.
What do you think? I don't know.
I think he's gone. Like I said, most of the guys on defense, I think they resign because they won't command huge salaries. Christian Kirk, he's going to get money from somebody. He has a valuable skill set that he'll get paid. I think it's just going to be more than the Texans want to pay. They definitely got to bring back Ingram. And
Derek Barnett?
Bring him back.
Yeah, I would say so. EJ Speed.
Bring him back.
Yeah. Tim Settle.
I think one of the comments here said they think Settle's, yeah. Our buddy Brady said,
I think so too.
I would like to keep him, but they have a bunch of guys at defensive tackle that they would like to sign as well, like Denico Autry, Mario Edwards.
Yeah, Mario Edwards too. That's right. He went out on injury.
Rankins. Like, there's a lot of guys that can bring back. They can't bring them all back, but they should bring back a good front seven guys.
Tommy Townsend.
I would like to bring him back. He was a great punter. Like, he had a few shaky punts, but more often than not, he was really great at pinning teams deep, and you need that, especially if you're a defensive team. It's about field position.
Is he right on the paper? Oh, yeah, that's right. He wasn't on the. That's funny. I guess I'm looking at the thing here, and it still had his name on it. My bad. We're looking at now.
Who's supposed to be their secret weapon? I mean, they didn't need it. Their secret weapon was CJ Stroud.
Apparently. I lost Fatusaki. Definitely
bring him.
Yeah, definitely. MJ Stewart.
Gone.
I think so too. Nick Chubb.
Gone.
Naquan Jones.
Gone.
Kurt Hinish.
Likely gone, just because they're going to re-sign those other guys, and it's going to be tough to bring him back.
Dario Wundawale.
I think he's probably gone.
I don't see Braxton Berrios coming back.
No.
We saw none of him, or if any. We saw him at the Patriots game for the first time in a while. I was like, oh, wow. Ed Ingram.
Bring him back, definitely.
Yeah, Fatusaki, he hasn't proven he can stay healthy. I agree with that one.
Yeah.
Why
can get him at a cheap deal just because injury concerns.
Yeah. Trent Brown.
I would love for them to bring him back. He provides excellent depth. I mean, he's a huge dude, like 6'8", 380 pounds. Like, jeez.
Yeah. All right. I think that's about it. All right. So let's get into it. I mean, CJ Stroud. Okay.
Boo.
CJ Stroud. Okay. Let's read some Stroud. This is from Landry Locker. It says quarterbacks with elite defense during championship runs. 2000. Deal for 1 interception in 4 games. 2002, Brad Johnson, 3 interception in 3 games. Grossman in 2006, 3 interceptions in 3 games. 2010, Mark Sanchez, 1 interception in 3 games. 2015, old Peyton Manning, 1 interception in 3 games. 2025, CJ Stroud, 4 interceptions in 6 quarters. Okay.
With bad quarterback play, they win the game. My word, bad quarterback.
Yeah.
This motherfucker went out there, was historically bad. It was the worst QB performance ever. The 28 rating was the lowest of all time. He ahead of old man Drew Brees and the guy from the Raiders, Connor Cook on the Raiders. Yes. That's
You
not a
know,
list.
this reminded me a lot of Brian Hoyer, 2015 Brian Hoyer with
Landry Locker put a comparison between Brock Osweiler's playoff performance versus CJ's, and if Brock Osweiler has a better playoff performance than you do, is yikes.
yeah, that was it was definitely tough to watch CJ Stroud just kind of, the last episode you and I did, you secretly met Shab the entire time. The last show that you and I did, we talked about how we thought that CJ Stroud would persevere, would just persevere from that bad performance against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then it just didn't. Like, you've seen CJ Stroud persevere before. Again, my biggest example was against Cleveland when he was told that he couldn't do it, and he just didn't do it. But I think what hurts the most, and I think a lot of fans feel this way, what is most hurtful is you have this generational talent defense, right? That it felt like it just went to waste because of the most pivotal part of the team. And the thing you just really had to do was just take care of the football. You had to be a game. You've said this before, Reels. He needed to be a game manager, and then it didn't happen. The only person that could, logically, it's like CJ Stroud defeated his own team.
What's crazy, Emmanuel just said they could have. So a QB could have went out there, spiked the ball the entire game, still would have gotten a QB rating than CJ did.
38 something percent, right?
Yeah.
So
to answer the question here on the screen, the honeymoon has been over since last year. Honestly, I said it at the beginning of the season for him and for the coach DeMeco. DeMeco Ryans redeemed himself. CJ has just dug that hole deeper and deeper this entire season, and it is going to be a very, very long offseason for that guy. I mean, just watching the TV networks and all the commentary on social media, I have never seen a QB take this type of heat ever, and it is well warranted, mind you, but it's just everyone is piling on. And I think how he bounces back from this is going to be telling if he's the guy at quarterback or if they have to, use the first round pick in 2027. We'll see.
So DeMeco Ryans came out today in the press conference and said, they asked him how he what did he tell CJ Stroud? Now, of course, I'm paraphrasing here. It's not his actual quote. But he basically said, turn off your phone, don't listen to social media, go off and forget about it, flush it down. I think that was the key word that they used, flush it down, and then see how he comes back. And I'll be honest with you, I agree with that logic. I agree with that logic of him just flushing it down. If this is something that's going to be the wake-up call, hold on. If this is going to be the wake-up call for him, it would have to be, you have to get it out. But that doesn't mean forget it, come back and do the same stuff you were doing. This needs to be, you need to be in every single practice. You need to be doing this, but also I feel like it's all here though. It's all here. Like it's something going on here that's almost similar, kind of like to Framber Valdez. You know what I mean? Where it's like it was all here, and then I think he started talking to a sports psychiatrist or whatever. I think that's what CJ. I'm not saying I'm not recommending him to do it. I'm just saying I think he needs to talk to. He needs to get his confidence back some way, somehow, and I think he's lost it. I think he's lost that confidence, and this is something that was said by a lot of people, and I tend to agree with that. The body language. Just he was completely deflated, defeated, and just the demeanor on it it's just like a lack of leadership quality, in my opinion. It's just you can't do that when the defense is out there, doing their thing, like literally trying to put you back in the best place possible, which they did. They sacked Drake May 5 times,
multiple forced fumbles,
exactly,
interceptions. Like they did it. They did their job, and
more. And more. And I think that's where him not stepping up, is very telling. And I think correct me if I'm wrong, Brandon posted, I think on the comments, he basically played himself out of a long-term contract right now this offseason.
And this is true as well. Stroud's dating, like that body language was just absolutely horrible. Like as the kids say, he didn't have that dog in him.
Yeah, and that's the thing though. How can he recover from? That's the big question. Can he recover from? I know most people are gonna say no, but can he? It's possible to come back from it, but there's got to be a lot of work. That's the thing. There's tons of work. Tons of work to the point where it may not even happen this off season. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think part of the problem also is after his rookie year, like rightly so, he had a historic rookie season. He kind of crowned himself a little too early, and he kind of went on this podcast tour instead of getting back in the lab and really focusing on his craft. And it showed his second season, and then it showed his last season. It's just like Troy Aikman said, he's been chasing his rookie success, which as a rookie, everyone thought, okay, this is the next big thing at quarterback, and he's regressed each and every single season since then. It's just I don't know if he bounces back. I've been pretty optimistic for the Texans since the 23 draft, but I'm starting to have my doubts. I don't know if he bounces back, honestly.
Let me see. Let me go back to the comments real quick. Is that you already read this one, right? Yeah, could have gone. Yeah, Stroud could have been paid. Yeah, okay, we read that one. Yeah, and he could have had a Super Bowl season. I agree with that. And never more. I mean, this was the game that we said
we talked about it yesterday. The stars were aligning. Bo Nix is injured. There's no Mahomes. There's no Josh Allen. There's no Lamar Jackson. Like the path to the Super Bowl was so easy. We said it yesterday. Like the winner of the AFC divisional game was going to go to the Super Bowl because I don't see the Broncos winning with Stidham as quarterback. As good as their defense is, it's going to be just as bad as the Patriots Texans game was. Like it's going to be a disaster. Like, that guy's. Yeah, they're about to feast on that guy, and I feel bad for the kid because the first time you get to play all year, and you face the Patriots defense.
If you don't win this, you don't go to the Super Bowl. Javelin said, "Why not bring vet Kirk Cousins to add some fuel to the CJ?" Actually, Reels and I were talking about this yesterday as well. Reels was over yesterday, and he ate all my food. He was over as we were watching the game, but we were talking about this yesterday. Like, also, like, why not bring a vet? And actually, Kirk Cousins was one of those that we talked about as well.
Yeah,
Reels, you want to talk about that one?
An actual competition, because I think he's gotten a little too complacent. Because typically, if a quarterback has 4 first half turnovers, he's benched at halftime. And the fact that they kept him out there, it's like they didn't really view Mills as being able to light a spark. And I think that you can't go into the year with him being complacent that, no matter what, I'm still going to be QB1. Nah. It should be an actual competition, someone that pushes him. Not only pushes him just, because you don't believe in him, but pushing him to be better. And I'm not saying Mills is not a good backup, but like, I don't see like Mills like pushing him as far as like a QB competition, which it should be, honestly, because we saw what he did in those 3 games. Yeah. He looked like a very competent NFL starting quarterback.
Yeah. Next comment says, "Where's Poppy at?" He's dead. No, I just want to say, no, he's actually. We were talking about it. He's sent us a message, but he's tired. He works so much, so it's hard for him sometimes to come up. But yes, he's still part of the show, unfortunately. It says, yeah, we did write that. There's no comparative. Okay, and then Brandon put, "Fire Jared Johnson."
Yeah, I think that this kind of funny going to Jared Johnson. I think during the press conference day with Coach D'Amico, he was, not super ecstatic about talking about Caley's future. I think if a upgraded OC comes up, I mean, probably looks bad firing your offensive coordinator after 1 year. But if you, like I said, 26 is the year you're gonna have to go all in, because you got to decide. You need to figure out, like, is this the guy that we're going to give $50-60 million a year for the next 5 years?
Yeah,
you have to answer those questions, and you have to go in and give him a veteran offensive coordinator that's going to challenge him, push him to be better, and also play to his strengths. This hybrid Patriots system that they try to run, it just doesn't work, and we saw it. Like, it was just no creativity. They don't have the personnel for that kind of offense. You got to play to the strengths of what your team has, and you got bunch of young guys that could run fast, and we're running these overly complicated routes where they can't get open. Like, what are we doing?
That and I mean the mixture of I don't think CJ feels comfortable in that system either. You know,
No.
I think it took a while for CJ to buy in that one. And then it's just like it seemed very to us on the outsiders looking in, it's like, huh, what are they doing? It feels like it's a little bit of the Kyle Shanahan system, and then but there's also some Patriot stuff. Like what's happening here? So it did seem a bit overly complicated, but I feel like they were able to pick up on it towards the end of the season more in the offensive side. But overall, in the end, it just ended up still. I feel like there was a lack of creativity running in on first down, straight through the middle. That was an issue. Like use the edges, you know, things like that. Like those little kinks that was like, come on. It's becoming so predictable that everybody knows you're going to run it on first down. Like that's the
name of the
immediate
system
run.
is the Erdhard Perkins system, which the
Yes.
Patriots ran for years. And again, if you have the personnel for it, great. But when we have a bunch of rookies at wide receiver, like you're gonna have to simplify it a little bit. Like these guys are coming from college where it is simple, one route, one read, whatever. Like it's simple system. You're asking them to learn this complex system as rookies. Like you're not doing your team any favors by making these overly complicated calls. Like simplify it a little bit. Go more towards the Shanahan version of that offense versus the Patriots version of that offense because you don't have the personnel for it.
Hey, we saw a little bit of the bootleg. I was like, yes, finally some bootleg action going on, and you know, it seemed like they diverted from that for a while too. But when you don't have a running game, you can't really rely on it either. That's the thing. All right, Albert wrote, are you paying Stroud Trevor Lawrence money? I'd say that not at this moment. I don't think so. This offseason, absolutely not.
No,
I don't think they do it either.
He should not even bring it up as far as getting an extension this offseason.
At this moment, I think he played himself out of a new deal, in my opinion. But you know, what do I know? Brandon wrote, "Oh, sorry, go ahead, Riz. You want to say something?"
No, it's like no, I agree with he had the chance to I had mentioned in a few episodes ago, like if he goes on the type of run that Joe Flacco and Eli did to win a Super Bowl, absolutely you give him the bag. Even if it turns out to be a bad contract, you got to pay the guy when he gets you to the promised land, wins you the Lombardi. Mm-hmm. Now, I'd make him play his 5th year out. Don't extend this offseason. Don't extend the next offseason. Even if he has a great year, they make it to the AFC title game. I would make him play out his 5th year because you got to do it more than 1 year, brother. You got to do it more than 1 year.
Brendan wrote, I know you probably wrote this a while back, Brendan, but I'm getting to the messages. Hear me out. The Jags complain that defense wins us all our games. That means Azeez Al-Shaair can carry the team farther than Trevor Lawrence, right?
I mean, I think a lot of fans have learned how annoying the Jags fans are. Like the Denver fans are still complaining about them. The Bills fans still complaining about them. Like, there's a common denominator. These guys are fucking annoying. They want nothing. Like, lower your voices, boys.
Brennan also wrote, what veteran OCs are out there right now? Oh, of course, McDaniels. It gets thrown around a lot, though, the McDaniels thing. But like, how feasible would you seem if how feasible is it for McDaniels to actually swing by Houston? Like that's the thing. It gets thrown around a lot there, and then that's what a lot of people were talking about. So how feasible is it for Mike McDaniels to actually be the new OC? I honestly think they're going to stick with Nick Haley for another season. That's what I think.
No, I think if McDaniels, because he has familiarity with DeMeco, I think if he wants to come here, they're going to fire Haley and bring him in. He made Tua look good, and Tua's about to be on another team after getting the bag because he was just not. He played like CJ did in the playoffs, but he did it for seasons.
Yeah. And see, that's the thing. Why another reason why I don't think they should extend CJ, because you would have the Tua situation in Houston. You would have the Kyler Murray situation in Houston.
Yep.
Like those are two, to me that's why you don't. And like I said, I think he played himself out of that against the Patriots. Okay, so let's go out there to that one. Thank you. It says, did y'all get a new OC? I feel like Stroud regressed, being more of a pocket QB instead of using his legs this rookie season. Let's talk about that. I honestly, that's the thing. After that concussion he got, it's like he stopped using his legs. Like there was a lot of plays where there was room to run. Like I will say this, though, the thing is this: as good as the Texans defense is a generational type defense, there's one thing they struggled with, and that was quarterbacks that could run, because they have to adjust. If a defense like this can struggle against a running quarterback, CJ Stroud has the ability to use his legs, but he doesn't. He hesitates to it. That would have been a game changer, because now it allows your defense to adjust to you as a running quarterback. Guess what? The lane of possibilities are more open now. You have more options.
The running backs for the wide receiver.
Running backs, blitzes. Like, sorry, you get rid of the blitz. Like you get a load off of the blitzes. They blitz CJ Stroud 42% of the time. It was one of the high ones. So, but that's the thing. You didn't use your legs. I think I saw him use his legs maybe twice throughout the whole game, if I'm not mistaken. I see your cat in the background just running around.
Yeah, she got into the catnip and she is going crazy.
Well, at least your cat's using his legs, unlike
unlike CJ.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's one of those things. It's like you stopped using your legs, and that's what I think that's what goes back to me. I think it's all mental, dude. Like it's all like in his head, and don't get me wrong, I want CJ to be successful. I still do, even after that, I do. But it's very hard, very difficult to support and back up a guy like that. Don't get me wrong. I'm still, to be fair, I'm still team CJ here and there, but I just think I'm still team CJ. I will say that. But I think I really do think that there's definitely those conversations, those hard, uncomfortable conversations that need to happen during the offseason. They need to like lay it down on him and say, this is what needs to happen. This is the production we need to see. Heck, if it even takes bringing like you said, Rios, bringing in a veteran quarterback to light a fire under him, then that needs to happen. I get that DeMeco wants to stick with his guys. I get that. And you know what? To a certain point, I agree. Like you're backing up your guys, but at the same time, there's a fine line between backing up your guys and just, you got to cut the cord sometimes. I'm not saying cut the cord with CJ. I'm just saying, like, I get the backup, but there's that time now where you need to have those conversations with him.
It's reminiscent of Kubiak. He was loyal to a fault to his guys, and it ultimately cost him his job because he stuck with Matt Schaub way too long when it was clear that he was kind of done as a starting quarterback. But I'm going back to CJ. Like, so before the concussion, he was actually, top 10 as far as rushing quarterbacks. He was using his legs a lot. But after the concussion, he has 10 rushes for 11 yards. He absolutely refuses to run it. Like, absolute last resort, he will take off to pick up the first down. But, like, I think he's playing scared. Like, and I get it. I've had a few concussions in my lifetime, and they suck. Like, I had one last year. I had a grade 2 concussion. It took me a month.
Did you get a concussion last year? Were you
car accident?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot you were in one. I'm a bad.
Yeah, so it took me a month to get over that. Trust me, I get it. Like, after the accident, like I had nightmares about, the accident and all that stuff. And like, I get it. Like, but at the same time, like you play a violent sport, you're going to have to get over it.
All right. Let's go back to the comments over here. Brandon wrote, is Togai a full-fledged starting DT2 now? He won the jobs, signing guys like Settle or Fatukasi or other as backup starters, right?
I think with that group, they're kind of interchangeable. They could be a starter on paper, but I think the way that defense plays, they're going to be, switching guys in and out. So they'll probably get equal reps. So I don't think it really matters on paper who's a starter and who's the backup, because they're going to get equal playing. We saw it a lot this season before the injuries.
Yeah.
They're rotating these guys in and out. Most of the pressure came from the front four. They didn't blitz a whole lot. They were one of the teams that blitzed the least throughout the season. And because that front four got so much pressure because they would have fresh bodies, every few plays. So it doesn't matter who's the starter.
Yeah. Okay, so movie hits 8 wrote he also needs to learn how to take a sack instead of throwing the Hail Marys. What's so funny is that we talked about earlier in the season. I was like, man, you got to avoid the sack, throw the ball away. At that point, but now it's like, dude, I'd rather you take the sack than actually throw the ball in the air and let it get picked by somebody.
Like, how are you gonna throw a rainbow pass and just hope someone catches it? Like, when does that ever work? And ever?
Nico's not out there.
Yeah, it doesn't work in backyard football. It doesn't work in Madden. It doesn't work in middle school, high school, college.
Yeah, that was pretty careless.
Not the NFL. Like,
yeah, that was careless. That's one of those things where, like, dude,
you not to do as a quarterback the entire game. Like, oh god. Disaster.
Let's see. In the last one, sorry, there's more. Brandon wrote, "I hate when QBs overuse their legs anyway. They put themselves at risk." No, I get that. I get that when they use it. But I think the CJ, if you look back at his rookie season, yeah, CJ used his legs more, but he also knew when to stand in the pocket at times. Does that make sense? Like he knew and that's the thing. I felt like it was more balanced back then in his rookie season, using the legs and of course, as far as like standing in the pocket. But now it's like, at least like now it's more like, dude, use the legs that you have, like use them. You can get the first down. We've seen it.
Running lanes, and we've
seen it.
He'll stand here and think about it. He's like, nah, let me just throw it away. I'm like, pick up the first down, man. Like, what are you doing?
Do you remember the Hard Knocks when it was a Hard Knocks with the Bears, like a season or two ago, whatever it was, and they had like a whole segment of Caleb Williams learning how to slide down, and it was like, I think they used like a slip and slide or something like that to help him slide or whatever. That's what CJ needs. I think something along the lines of like, dude,
yeah,
like learn not to take the hits, slide. I don't know, but if you're gonna use your legs, learn to slide. Because I've seen him when he uses legs, sometimes he just like faces forward and just like dives head first, and I'm like, ugh, that's how you get concussed.
Like you gotta be smart to running. Like I think he should basically go to a baseball camp because they teach you sliding there. Like look, some of the best QBs that are good at sliding, former baseball players, Mahomes, Kyler, Russell Wilson, like those guys, former baseball players. They know how to slide, and they run a lot, but they avoid taking big hits because they know how to slide. And maybe it's, along with the sports therapist, should take some baseball classes learning how to slide.
Yeah. All right. Would you say that the priority is to use the highest picks on players that spend the most time on the field? O-line doesn't rotate.
Yeah, I mean, I think part of the problem was they drafted best player available instead of trying to fill a need, which sometimes works, sometimes it doesn't. This past draft, they spent their first 2 draft picks on wide receivers that they barely used, when clearly offensive line was a position of need. Like, I think this the upcoming draft for free agency, focus on the areas of need.
Yeah, running back,
offensive line, and wide receiver depth.
Yeah, and also be aggressive in the O-line room in the free agency as well. Yeah. They have to be at least fix the interior line.
At least be aggressive as far as the center, because that Pittsburgh game, most of those fumbles were because of the exchange between the center and CJ.
Yeah,
you're a veteran center. Spend a little bit, get you someone that's going to be careful with the ball and not draw unnecessary penalties or throw it over the quarterback's head, causing unnecessary turnovers.
Right. And let me see. I think and to be fair, I mean, I think it's just again working on that leadership, those leadership skills from CJ. I mean, that body language again seemed just rattled, and just especially when he was under pressure. And it's just like being the leader of the NFL, of a team in the NFL, just requires a little bit more focus when things go wrong. Like teammate gets injured, but in the pocket collapses, you got to be ready for things like that. Do you tell Popovich he has to get a better center and not this guy? Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree. Yeah, 100%. I think to be fair, Popovich, I think he did a phenomenal. I don't want to say phenomenal. Sorry, that's too top shelf.
Yeah,
I think he did a good job. If a subpar, if anything.
For what he had to work with, I'll say he did a pretty decent job. Not
for the guys he worked with, right? For the guys they got.
Like it was, it went from being one of the worst at pass blocking and run blocking to middle of the pack, which is pretty damn good improvement.
Yeah, that's a pretty big improvement. It's growth.
But
yeah, imagine if they actually go out and be aggressive with in the free agency or use a pick for that. Like, I feel like the sky's the limit there.
Yeah, if they can shore up that interior line, the center and the 2 guards, and you have Ursery and Titus Howard at the tackle positions, this could be a top 10 offensive line. But they're gonna have to spend. They can't go bargain hunting.
Nah, not again.
Yeah, and it hasn't worked so far, and that's been one of the issues since CJ's rookie season. Is the offensive line.
And
Look how many different formations as far as line we've seen last season, for example. They had like what almost 19 different starting rotations by the bye week. Like,
yeah,
you can't win games like that. You got to have some continuity on the offensive line.
duct tape and prayers, my friend. Duct tape and prayers.
That's what it felt like last year. This year, they were pretty fortunate as far as not having any major injuries on the line, but playoff time, it
collapsed. Yeah,
the dam broke.
So let's look at the silver lining. We talked about it. Yeah, let's look at the silver lining. Might be a little tough, but let's look at the silver lining. One of the things I have in my silver lining is this: next season, you got the how do you call it?
I love that signing. They can pull that off. Oh yeah.
Jalen Higgins. I think next season you're going to see a lot more from him.
Oh yeah, I believe so too. Like he's basically Nico Collins.
Yeah,
6'4", 200 plus pounds, runs a 4.4. They just need to give him the ball more.
Yeah, I mean, I think he had a fantastic rookie season. Kind of parallel to a little bit to Andre's rookie season. Had some stats close to with Andre. I can't remember off the top of my head right now which ones they were, but they were.
He was a big red zone threat, and I think he was underutilized the majority of the season. I think after CJ went down, Davis Mills targeted him a little bit more. Got him going a little bit, and he started to see a lot more targets in the red zone towards the end of the season, which
he wasn't seeing at first, right? It was like, yeah. And so they weren't. It was like they were like you. I think that's another thing that we didn't talk about is like just the fact that you drafted wide receivers, but then I felt like they underutilized them.
Yeah, in round 2 and round 3.
Right.
And they combined for 58 catches, like 7 yards and like 8 touchdowns or something like that. Like it was something that you expect from one receiver, not 2 guys combined. That's not guys you drafted with your first 2 draft picks. Like,
yeah, I do. Another part that I have in the silver lining is not Kate Stover. I'm sorry. Wow. Dalton Schultz. Thank you. I went blank for a second. Dalton Schultz, man, I really liked his performance this season. Over 770 yards. I think they finally utilized Dalton Schultz this season a heck of a lot better than they did last season, where he was almost non-existent and blocking a lot for some reason. And he's not really much of a good blocker, but I think he fits in this system pretty decently, in my opinion, gives CJ that option. And so honestly, him definitely when he went down, I think that was another that not having him was definitely a loss.
I am concerned because those no contact calf injuries never end well.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't said what it was yet.
I know, right? It's not as clear, kind of like the Joe Mixon thing, but whatever.
Speaking of Joe Mixon, yeah, they saved $8 million by cutting him, and I think they probably, again, like from unverified reports, he probably did something non-football related that led to a major injury and didn't go to the team doctors and just made it worse. And I think I would love to have him back, but I just don't see, like, when you do something that dumb during the offseason, injure yourself in non-football activities, and you make it worse by not, checking in with the team doctors, you're not going to keep your job.
Yeah. All right. So another silver lining that I have, I think this defense, I don't know how is Schultz soft. What brought him off the field? It was they said it was a calf injury,
a non-contact
calf injury. So I don't think they specified much on it, but I know missing him missing him. I know definitely hurt the offense even more than it was. I wouldn't be against drafting Kenyon. Okay, yeah, not bad. What else?
Schultz. I mean, Stover is gonna miss all next year because
that ACL tear. Was it confirmed ACL tear? Okay, so that was just trying to catch CJ Stroud's pass. Like that was
terrible pass led to an injury. Like
hospital type pass. All right. So as I was saying, I think another silver lining is just the defense, like just trying to keep as many guys as possible. They're young. That's the best part. You know, you have a young secondary. You have, you know, of course, I wouldn't doubt that they signed Will Anderson this offseason. You know, you have guys coming back, and hopefully they're able to re-sign it. Last minute, I'm not leaving this game, Schultz. I'm leaving this game. That's funny. I'm leaving. Peace. See y'all later. My calf hurts. Yeah. That's funny. And then that's it. As far as that, Rios, what is your silver lining if you have any?
Man. Normally I'm the optimist, but not to
Switch roles.
kind of piggyback off what you said. I think you got a young secondary, like the oldest guy there is Stingley. He's what, 25, 26 years old. He's in his prime. You got Lassiter and Kalen Bullock and Petrie, you know, all during their primes as well. Like, that should be a dangerous secondary for another 5 or 6 seasons. Will Anderson's only going to get better.
Yeah.
Danielle Hunter is locked down for another year, and he's one of the most underrated, you know, defensive players in the league. So the defense is, they bring most of these guys back. That's the silver lining for next season.
Mm.
But on the offensive side of the ball, it is a lot of question marks.
A lot.
Like you mentioned, it's going to be a lot of ugly conversations that need to be had,
Yeah.
especially regarding CJ Stroud. Something up from the exit pressers today with Will Anderson, something that I like is like, you know, hey, you know, we're going to keep our you know, internal stuff internal. So they say the right things to the media, the reporters, and that. But I'm pretty sure that defense had a long, hard talk with CJ, because there seems like a group that holds themselves accountable. They're not going to, you know, kiss his ass and things like that. They're going to tell me, hey, man, like, you kind of cost us the game, bro. We need you to fucking step it up. We're going to do our job. We need you to do yours.
No. All right. Plan for the offseason, Rios. What do you got? This is our last segment. Our plan. What is the plan for the offseason? What do the Texans need to do? What's the fix?
Joe Burrow.
Well, okay.
No, I think definitely upgrading the interior offensive line. You're going to have to. I don't know if a rookie running back is going to fix this offensive running game.
Mm-hmm.
So you're probably going to have to spend on a free agent. Nick Chubb's not coming back, and Mixon's not coming back. Breece Hall, maybe. Because if you can upgrade the running game and the interior of the offensive line, that makes CJ Stroud's job that much easier. You know, getting Tank Dell and Nico back definitely helps as well.
Right.
But I think that should be the biggest thing. Improving this running game. They want to be a hard-nosed running team. Improve the interior line, improve the running back room. That makes you a hard-nosed football team where you can run the ball and play hard defense and turn CJ into a game manager until you need him to step up and convert those key third downs. That's the formula for this team, I think.
I will say this, though. Another a big positive that I saw, they did fantastic job in the third downs. When they needed the third downs, they got them.
Against the Steelers, yes. Against the Patriots, no.
They did
Had a couple
not as well as the Steelers, but they got some third downs, and they did move the ball down the field, but ultimately, I mean, it's just the turnovers.
Another thing also, they need to work on their discipline. So
Yes.
many boneheaded mistakes in the red zones that take away touchdowns and end up being field goals. You want to be a Super Bowl caliber team, you score 7, not 3. That's how you become a Super Bowl caliber team, scoring 7 instead of 3.
The 3 point,
taking 6 field goals a game, like it's just, you're not going to win.
yeah, one field goal at a time. Yes, we know his leg needs to be as a statue at NRG Stadium outside. I totally get that. That man has a Hall of Fame type of leg, but you're right. You don't win. You can't win a field goal at a time. Not championships, at least. You got a comment? D'Amico Ryans likes Seahawks. Kenneth Walker.
He would be a good one here too.
That'd be great.
He's a hard runner. He has injury concerns, sure, but he's a hard runner. He's also pretty good in the passing game. He did shit for me in fantasy till the end of the year when the fantasy season was over, and then he wants to have the game of his life. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. But no, like if he can stay healthy, he'd be a pretty big pickup. Him or Breece Hall. Like, you need a guy that's going to be able to basically be the bell cow. Because as much as I like Woody Marks, I don't know if he can be that bell cow type of running back. Because every game, like I felt like you went down with like a season-ending injury. I'm like,
Oh yeah, I did see that. I was like, is
would
he
he get up,
done?
please?
Yeah.
But he'd be a great running back too, change of pace running back. Like he's gonna have a role with the team. Like if they want to be a hard-nosed running team, like you're gonna need, like Seattle has before Charbonnet tore his ACL.
Mhm.
Was Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker. That was a terrific 1-2 punch.
Mhm.
And I think you need that for this Seattle. The Seattle Seahawks and the Texans are very similarly built. Then you got to go that form. You got to have the 1-2 punch at running back.
All right. For my opinion, what's the fix? Well, plan during the offseason for CJ Stroud. I'll agree with D'Amico Ryans. You got to flush it. They needs to step away, heal physically, heal mentally, get out of it, get out of your system. Don't look at football. I know. Don't look at football for a while. Get back and get ready to go. If you need to talk to somebody, talk to somebody. Like get out of that mental funk. I feel like it's more like a mental funk, similar to a slump in baseball. They have to do that. He has to do that. He needs to get back to the basics. Just like the Manning brothers. CJ needs to spend time drilling fundamentals, footwork, coverage reading from the ground up. It's almost like you have to start over again. He has to start doing that. Work on that leadership skills, man. This offseason is about mental reps, learning to operate the entire offense, and just kind of know what's happening before the ball snaps. That seemed like that was an issue. Rios, I'm sorry, brother. You're the older one. You are the older one.
Oh my god, that's fucking gold. I love that.
Yeah. All right, and for CJ, like again, the talent's there. CJ has he has great abilities and has potential, but it just wasn't shown. We've seen it. Can they fix it? That's going to be up to the offseason to find out during next season. Next season will be very interesting to find out if CJ is a guy or not. How do you recover from this? How do you recover and take that leadership role? He said in his interview, CJ, not the end of CJ Stroud. That he needs to go back to his words. He needs, paraphrasing again, that he needed to go back to the old CJ Stroud. So the best thing I'm looking forward to is how do they respond, and that's it. That's my thing. How do they respond from that? How does he respond? Will he show the leadership skills, or will he show that he's really, really not the guy?
Yeah, I mean, basically, do you bounce back and have a comeback player type season, or do you show the same body language you shown during the Patriots game where you look deflated? You essentially look like you gave up.
Yeah.
Like after that first interception, like he was just sulking on the sidelines, crying, like, bro, no. Like you're the captain of the team. Like they all look to you, and if you're over there crying and sulking on the sideline, like, no, man, like that's just not going to get it done in this league.
And it's a young team. That's the thing. It's a young team, and guess what? He's also young. That's the thing, because he's still young. That's why I think there's still room to grow on there. And honestly, and let's talk about the last thing. Would you have? To me, it's a yes. Would you have benched CJ during the game and halftime?
At halftime, yeah, for sure. Because you're trying to win again. At this point, your feelings don't fucking matter.
Team first.
We're trying to win a game. And if you're not getting it done, you know what? I'm going to put the backup in and see if he can light a spark under this offense. If he does, cool. We win the game. We don't, hey, you weren't doing any better. And as we saw, CJ would have lost the game anyway. So
I think on that one, it's just like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that one would have been better than the other. I'm not. But I think that the mental mistakes would probably not have been as much with Davis Mills out there than with CJ. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Maybe the inaccurate passes are still there, whatever. Yes, you don't have much to work with on the offense because you lost Dalton Schultz, you lost Nico, whatever. You do with what you got. But at least I feel it sends a message out a little bit to the team. And it also, I mean, yes,
no one's job is safe. Like
right. And then the thing is this, like you saw what happened with Bryce Young and Andy Dalton. Now, yes, I know time and place. One is the playoffs and one is regular season. I totally get that. But at the same time, it's like, I understand why he's stuck with this guy. I don't know. But I wouldn't have on that particular situation. But then again, I'm not a coach. What am I going to do? Do you bench CJ? Well, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, I mean, That's we're saying the same thing. Like it's just like it's almost like it's not one would have made a bigger difference. Maybe it's just the fact that
two ways. So one is lighting a fire into the team, be like, hey, everyone's accountable. Also, I love bringing up King of the Hill references. So there was an episode where Bobby was on the track team, and when the coach saw, the stick, when the coach would see the guys not working hard or being lazy, he would pull them out and put Bobby in, the slowest, fattest kid on the team. And when he would lose, obviously because he's fat and slow, he would look at the guy that he benched like, this is your fault. You did this. You used Mills as the stick in that situation. Like, CJ, this is your fault. You did this.
That's pretty funny.
I love King of the Hill, man.
King of the Hill rules. All right, man. That's all I got for today. Rios, got anything else?
Yeah, so I mean, I think a lot of us were riding a wave of positivity going into the game yesterday, and a lot of us crashed out yesterday on social media, myself included.
Horribly.
I was pretty drunk. I've had some time to process it, and I don't think CJ's going to be a clip holder anymore. I'm gonna leave those tweets up because it's just reminders. But no, I think this offseason is basically going to be a make or break for him. Like, if he bounces back and has a all-pro type season next year, comeback player of the year, whatever you want to label it as, if he can bounce back from this and show like, hey, you know what, I am the franchise guy, like, pay me. Hey, a lot of us are going to owe him an apology.
That it?
Yeah, that's all I
got. I think he does have to prove that, next season. So that's it's gonna be interesting to see for sure. All right, well, that's gonna be it for us guys this week. Please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel down below at JustFans22, and of course our Instagram account at JustFansPod. Thank you all for checking us out. I ain't apologizing. Thank you guys for checking us out. Thank you for your time, and we appreciate y'all. We will see y'all next week. Could be a Monday, could be a Tuesday. Schedule's not set, depends on how we work. But other than that, that'll be it, guys. Thank you again. Peace.
Southwest A-League, Texas, throw down here and it's so infectious. We ride for the Houston Astros, Rockets, Dynamo, and them Texans. If you ain't never been down here, but rule number one, you gon' respect us. Just fans in my speakers, new one drop, they bout to bless us. I might right through the SWAT, playing just fans right through your spot. Look, and I don't know what you thought, but right here, dog, we gon' rep the